Wow, that's right. Ow. Wait. Wait a minute. Yes. Wait. Yep, the animals are taking over. You are correct. Chat is full of food and animals, and so are the decks. Where you control, where could you turn face up and endures. Alright, so you play a Shaya, which is a land. You seek a creature and manifest it, which would also be a land. How do you then win the game? 4-cost enchantment that goes infinite with it? I'm gonna look at lists online. Click. Alright, I'm gonna do this the fast way so I don't sit here and get stuck forever. What are we working with here? The lands are a bit weird. Mirari's Wake. What is this doing? When your opponent casts their second spell, draw. Whenever they attack, you draw. I don't care about that at all. Sarah's Emissary. I don't care about that at all either. Necrobloom. What's up with that one? Alishnorn. How do you win with the Shaya, though? You put all the creatures in play, but then what? You put your entire deck into play, and then what? Whenever a land you control enters, seek a creature, manifest it. So all the creatures are manifested into play. Do you just pass the turn? How does this go infinite? You just put a bunch of lands in play? And they have to be basics? Okay. So we have all our basic lands in play. We have all our creatures in play as face-down 2/2s. But how do I win? Like, how am I not just passing the turn right back? Like, you play all these 2/2s and then what? Can you give him haste? Sirac could give haste here? But all the lands that we get are tapped, right? I get what we're doing, I just don't get how we win. We just make an army of 2/2s and have 500 mana in play, and then I just pass the turn. And then lose to Day of Judgment. So I don't get it. What is Elish Norn doing? That's weird. What is Ancient Green Warden doing? Landfair Graveyard. The land enters, triggers something. I mean, that does not seem necessary at all. This doesn't even have burgeoning in it. Wonder why. Could just be a thing of the person that made it doesn't own it. Won't Great Henge make you lose the game? Whenever a non-creature token enters, and then let's say you put in like 30 creatures, you draw 30 cards. Alright, I suppose you're not guaranteed to deck out. Doubles the commander triggers whenever a land enters. Oh, I guess it does. Yeah. But so does Chocobo, and it costs a reasonable amount of mana, as in comes before your commander. Boop. I suppose the Warden does the same thing. What? Costs 6 mana, so you play your commander, and then you play this. And you enters, triggers this time. Yeah, alright. I guess it works with the commander the turn after you play your commander. It's kind of weird, but logic is fine. Does this not have Kami? Oh, it does. Does it have Sprawl? It was missing one of them. Which one was it missing? I said it. It was... No, it was other than Burgeoning. Why am I not doing it the easy way? No Molt Tender. No Mystic. What? Again, probably just cards the person didn't own or something. What is Thalia doing? That's just a solid card, I guess. Baleful Mastery is a really weird choice. I don't know why you're not just playing the Bitter Triumph. Oh, you are playing the Bitter Triumph? Okay, never mind. What do I know? I don't actually really like Baleful Mastery. It's kind of let me down a lot. Vine Lasher effectively would just win. We don't have Archdruid's Charm. How do we Finding Ashaya? What does this do? Attacks, Manifest Dread, reveal target face down permanent. If it's a creature, turn it face up. Sure. I guess that's a card. Whenever a face down creature you control enters, find a land. No, it goes to your hand. Oh, shoot. Whenever a face down creature enters, search a basic land. Ugh. I don't care about that effect at all. If it went into play, it'd be really nice, but just flooding my hand with lands, I don't really... It also doesn't do anything until I play a 5-drop, so like it doesn't really do anything. Clifftop Lookout is weird instead of Flare of Cultivation. Or just Cultivate. Neither are in here. Heroic Intervention makes me kind of sad if we have to go that route. I also don't really care about Vorinclex. But how do we... Alright, so we have all... We play a Shia, we get all the creatures in our deck right into play. We have an army of... 2/2s? So an army of 2/2s. That is it. There's nothing special about these 2/2s. Alright. So we play this, get all the creatures. Assuming I'm effectively tapped out because I just played a 5-mana card. I'm not going to reasonably flip anything the turn I did all of this. And then what? If it's just past the turn, this is awful. What is Bristly Bill doing? Yeah, I don't really care about Bristly Bill. Whenever land enters, I guess with Ashaya it kind of works, but it's not necessary. If you have all your creatures in play, it doesn't matter how large they are. That hardly seems relevant. Gaia's Blessing. Oh, no. Oh, no. What is this doing? I picked the wild list to copy. Oh, boy, I should have looked at more lists than one, huh? What is Gaia's Blessing doing? I can't say we're concerned about decking out. Yeah, like, it doesn't mill itself when you do the thing. Mill opponents don't matter, so you just wouldn't play that. So I'm not sure what this is doing. You can cast it to reanimate or put, like... No, I just... It doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't help you combo off either once you're at that point. I really think I need some way to find a Shia. Maybe the idea with this deck is to not go all in on a combo, and it's just something you sometimes have. But if that's the case, still, some of these cards wouldn't really help you out too well in that regard. In fact, we have a lot of cards in here that mill, like Tortoise in Aftermath. And if you mill a Shia, well, then you don't have a Shia to, like, get and win. It's weird to not run Reanimate. I feel like Reanimate's just kind of free, isn't it? If I'm going to play a bunch of things that mill, it would be probably ideal to sometimes Reanimate, like, the combo card, right? Or just Reanimate anything that's really, really scary. What gives haste? Serac? Whenever another non-token creature enters... Okay, so this doesn't do it. Oh, wait, does this? Creatures you control gain haste till end of turn. But how do I give this haste? Ah! Okay. So, if this is in play already, it works, but it has to be in play already. Alright, so there's really no reliable way to give haste. And I'm not gonna... It's just like, what is it? Ureni? Sometimes Ureni has haste in GG, but sometimes it doesn't, and you should expect to have a functioning deck without it having haste, because you can't consistently give it haste. So I suppose the same logic is here. If you have an army of 2/2s and you pass, I suppose your opponent doesn't just have the sweeper. Feels really bad with that logic. Sirach does not do it, no. Sirach enters as a face-down 2/2 with all the other things in play, and then I can flip it with Ephemerate, and then nothing has haste. It never saw anything enter. Sirach would have to be in play first, and that's not a good idea. So I'm not going to do that. Not going to do that. I suppose there are some instances where it could matter. Maybe I could play it just to have the... It's a 6-drop, though. Are we not running all the fetch lands? What's going on with that? Huh. Why are all the... Okay, well, you should always run all the fetch lands. I would advise it, at least. Were they just playing exclusively the green ones? They were only playing the green ones and decided not to pick the black ones, specifically. Oh, that's not true, though. They had marsh flats. Okay, they didn't run the white ones either. Very strange. If you have landfall cards, why would you not play these? Again, it could just be a thing of the person who made this doesn't own them. Which is perfectly reasonable. That would be reasonable. Verge lands are the same kind of logic. Rage of... Ugh! Get out of here, fast lands. Get out of here. What are you doing in here? I don't actually hate the glades. Or the slow lands. They're alright. I guess the surveil lands are fine. But I would never play these things. Yeah, we'll keep the slow lands for now. I suppose. Opponent doesn't... I said opponent. Whoops. Person didn't have Ancient Tomb. I said opponent. I'm playing against the deck builder right now. That's my opponent. I'm so funny. Alright, what are we looking at? 46 lands? Love it. What does it recommend? If I let it just desecrate my land ideas here. Alright, this looks a lot more reasonable. I don't really care about the... Well, wait a minute. Is this mill 3? That one's fine. I haven't had a lot of success with the white one, but... It's a card. Missing... Oh, wait. I think I saw it. Let's see if I can... Alright, yeah, we got all the good ones. Alright. No cut down Fatal Push. Probably not too great to go without those. I don't really like Elesh Norn in the current situation of things. Even if I flipped it for 7, let's say, I had all my creatures in play. I don't really think Elesh Norn does much in the current climate. There's a lot of things that don't care about it. And the things that do care about it have already done their thing by the time you've cast a 7-mana card. Like, if you want to kill your opponent's Llanowar Elves, it's like too late to really have that matter. I don't like just the first discard spell, unless I'm targeting myself with Reanimate. I don't really like the first one. Could run all of them, but... Eh. I've come to really not like Nissa that much, which is kind of unfortunate. What is Tooth and Nail? Tooth and Nail is just another way to get this, but it costs 9. By that point, I'm just finding Gristlebrand. Could have another combo in this deck. Final Parting Gristlebrand, Tooth and Nail, Shieldred. Just other ways to win the game. That's fine. And all of those cards actually could also get this card. So it works. What does this commander do? Whenever a creature turned faced up, you endure X. And then whenever you play a land, you seek a creature from your deck as a 2/2 manifest. So you play a land, you get a 2/2, you can flip it up for stuff. 5-mana Elish Nord? Yeah, that one I would say is probably just better. It doesn't do anything against some of the opponents. Like, it doesn't stop VV. I think it stops Tifa. It doesn't stop Rafellos. I think I want Cut Down and Fatal Push. Because that's kind of what this game is, this format's about. It is about the early stuff. It doesn't matter what I'm trying to do if I can't get to it. I'll just lose before it happens. I'm not really sold that I want the protection spells. Because I'd have to float mana with the combo for these to matter. Right, you play this on 5, you play this on 6, I guess, and then if I only have 1 mana left after I've done this, this doesn't really do anything. You could say I could have 2 mana, because my commander could tap for mana when this is in play, and then the additional mana source I played the turn after my commander, which was the turn I played this, could be 2 mana on that turn, and then I can cast Heroic Intervention, but I can't cast this one. I think Get Lost is just really good too. Those cheap... Oh, it's already in here. How did I not see that? How did I not see that? The free protection spell from MH3, the Flare? It has to be a white creature, right? Non-token white creature. Yep, that works with my commander. My commander must be in play for this to work anyways. Although, if my commander dies, or they try to kill it when I cast a Shaya, I can't sack it to this. Until end of turn, your life total can't change, priority control. Yeah, I can't actually sack my commander for this to go for the combo. So I don't know if that's I wanna figure that one out. Being your end step, manifest the top card. Creatures. Wait, what? Sack this creature until end of turn. Face up things. Gain. Okay, I don't know about that one. Mother of Runes, Giver of Runes. What do they really do? Yeah, with protection spells, they're okay. You can do these two. Could probably also do Skrelv. And Esper Sentinel? Just white creatures that are early? That now if I have any of these, Flare actually works more reasonably. If I pass the turn back and I sack my commander to Flare, but I've done the thing, we're just fine. I'm kind of... I feel like I have to play a bunch of tutors, though. What is this doing? Play additional land. 7 or more lands. Look at the top card. Lands and creatures. Alright, Value City. I don't normally play that card, but I don't hate it. Necrobloom is fine. It's just this thing to do. What is Loot doing? Is just Azusa at home? No, Loot has a 6-mana ability. It could find a Shia sometimes. How are we not playing Grim Tutor Archdruid's Charm? I mean, Archdruid's Charm has to make sense here, right? We're basically mono green anyways. I don't own Sylvan Tutor. Yeah, I think I want Grim Tutor. Another way to somewhat get this. Mirari's Wake, kind of irrelevant. Especially in a green deck, I feel like this is not super crucial to what green wants. Because at like 5 mana, I'm all set with this. It's not like I'm casting Titans or anything. And I don't really need that much mana. Like, I really just don't need a 5-mana ramp spell. I still don't like Ancient Green Warden. Could play Azusa Strip Mine, just to bother people. Glacial... What is that name? Whenever a land you control enters, everything gets haste. Alright, so we play this, and then... wait, okay. Well, it has to work before... It has to work after this has happened. It has to work after I have all the manifest in play. So everything's in play, including this, as a 2/2 manifest creature. That doesn't work. I'd have to ephemerate this, or Cloud Shift or something, and then I would also have to play a land. So I don't think that... I think that's the same issue Sarok has. Although that one actually is possible. It is possible to do it. Sarok, I don't think it actually is possible. Can I consistently flip in play a land after I've comboed off? I feel like I can't. I'm also curious how many times people just concede anyways, and then maybe all of our concerns don't matter. This also isn't running the new Busted World Weave card. I think we have enough creatures for it. Could be wrong. Probably not wrong, though. 34 creatures? That looks about right to me. Farewell is a bit interesting. I mean, this is a devastating card. I do like it. I've come to feel like the 4-mana explosive veggies have been kind of lame, so I'm just going to take that one out. This is a bit slow and also kind of unnecessary. Once I already have 7 lands, I feel like the game is starting to get decided. I don't really care if I'm casting stuff off the top. at that point. The game's just kind of almost done. Great Henge is maybe next in line to go. The Blink Felia? I can use Felia, but again, if I've comboed off, Felia doesn't help me give anything haste or anything, but if I use Felia to blink, huh. Felia is actually pretty solid. I don't really like the Necro Bloom. Play an additional land. Sack a creature, land draw. I don't really care about these. This one's awfully slow. I don't care about the 2/2 zombies or the plants. Whatever land... Yeah, so dredge my lands is kind of alright. I don't have much graveyard interaction. I'm gonna just not play with those like grindy 4-drops. Or those two specifically. The turtle, I mean, I like the turtle. It is like a... Enters or attacks, mill 3, land. Yeah, I like it. Same with Lumra. I probably could play Lumra. I could just not play the mill cards, like the Analyst and the Turtle. I actually don't like Explore. It's been a while since I've played this card. It's been kind of meh. Which is weird to say, but it has let me down. It's definitely not a guaranteed ramp spell, which is why I really just don't like it. You could just play a guaranteed ramp spell. Don't have any graveyard-based stuff. Ice Till Explorer is probably just excellent here. Sylvan Safekeeper. That's like another Giver of Runes. And there's a lot of times I think it's okay to sack a land and not lose the game because I sacked a land. So that actually is pretty solid. Yeah, we can keep Henge in for the funnies. I probably could play Strip Mine. It's not even like you have to sack it when you play it. Let's try Strip... This feels like a Strip Mine situation. It feels like a Strip Mine situation. I do want a healthy amount of basics, kind of. So let's take out the Alejandro. Let's take out Alejandro and run Mana Confluence. I'm okay with that land here. Actually, the slow lands should just be the damage ones, I think. Yeah, I like the damage lands a lot. The slow lands are, well, you know, slow. What am I missing? The black-white surveil land? Ah, that was. Alright, what does it say about the basics now? Even less basics? Hey, not great. Alright, I don't actually like the analyst. I also kind of don't quite like the turtle. Alright. I've convinced myself. Alright, this looks more historic brawl ready. For the current, at least the, the top 10 most played commanders, I should say. And, well, just everything else in general. Could play something random like Casualties of War. I still don't like the Green Warden other than the sometimes value situation. And boy, is it a sometimes. I don't know, it can stay for now. Reanimating lands and milling myself, it's not... I just haven't really liked that. I prefer cards that are, like, extremely consistent. Just hardcore consistency amongst them, and the turtle can sometimes whiff. And there's just no reason to play a 4-mana, like, chance to whiff card. You just play explosive vegetations on it. It's just more mana and can't die. And I wouldn't play those here. It could actually be kind of hard to cast Great Henge, now that I'm looking. If it's the greatest power, it's not like collective power. Yeah, it could actually be kind of hard to cast it here. Okay. Maybe it's just not something we're doing. Clickety click. Clickety click click click. Alright, we'll start here. We'll see what happens, I guess. Alright, we're here with Hamza, Might of Yathin. 5 mana, 5/6. Whenever a creature you control is turned face up, oh boy, it endures X, where X is that creature's toughness. And landfall, whenever a land you control enters, seek a creature and manifest it. So you can play something like... what is it? Ashaya, that's right. This is the combo where if you play this with your commander in play, then all of your face-down manifest creatures trigger landfall for your commander, and then it just keeps happening. So you effectively will put all of the creatures in your deck into play as 2/2s. Now, there are some, and I mean some, like very few, ways to then, when you have an army of 2/2s, that is the entirety of your creature base in play, you can then sometimes flip it, like the one that gives them all haste, and then do stuff to give them the ability to attack, but that requires you play a bunch of really not great cards. Some of them are actually really expensive, like, what was it, Gold Maw? Was that one of them? Or God Maw? Crazy name. Yeah, this thing. So if you play all your creatures manifested, including this, if you then flip this for either 7 mana in the same turn that you did everything, so not very likely, you can then play a land, and then they all have haste, and you can swing and probably just one-shot your opponent. However, this has to either be in play first for you to have all of that matter, or you do the thing where you flip this the turn you put it in play face down with everything else, flicker it with Ephemerate, would be the most likely outcome, and then play your land, and then suddenly can swing. So it's just like a lot for this to actually do the thing after you've comboed. And another one is Surak, where if it isn't in play before you're doing the thing, then you're not gonna have them get haste, because this was one of the cards you put into play face down as a 2/2. So you could flip this, but then all of the other creatures don't have haste because they're already in play. You could hold priority for each in every single creature until you hit this one, and then cast Ephemerate or something like Cloud Shift on this, so then everything after it has haste. It's kind of weird, but I guess you could go that line. This is all dependent that you had Ephemerate or Cloud Shift anyways. So I don't really like these. Now again, if you play them if they're in play before you did it, then you have this as your, haste enabler. But it has to be in play before you did it, which means either your commander is just sitting there and your opponent hasn't killed it, and then you played this as your spell the next turn, and then you also played Ashaya, I guess, and all of this was just not being interacted with. I don't know what format you're playing, but that's not the one I'm playing, so that's just not going to happen. The Heroic Intervention... Okay, because now that I feel like we effectively have to pass the turn back with an army of 2/2s, which to me is probably the best way to go about things, so you don't play like these not very good cards in your deck, especially, it's effectively really bad too if you're not even going for any combo currently, and you just have this like 6 mana not great card in your hand or whatever, that you actually have to cast. Because of that, we have to pass a turn, and Heroic Intervention... With your Ashaya, once you play a land for the turn, because you play this, and then next turn you play a land, ideally, and then you play this, your commander, at the very least, including the land you just played, is your 2 mana that you have for the turn after you cast this, and then you can cast Heroic Intervention. Now, this doesn't stop your opponent from killing this when this is on the stack, because you won't have the second mana of the turn, essentially, until this is in play to turn this into a land. So it doesn't work out too amazing, but, that's why this was in here. This one is in here. If I have to pass the turn back and they have, a sweeper or something, I can protect all of my stuff just barely with the mana. The Giver and Mother Skrelv stuff is just layers of protection for the combo as well. Flare, you can't necessarily sack your commander to defend the combo chain, but you can use it to defend against a board wipe, because you can sack your commander on your opponent's turn. You don't really care about this. You just have an army of 2/2s when it goes into your next turn to kill your opponent. And having said all that, your opponent can also simply concede when you're doing the thing. Like, you just cast this and they're just over it. That could technically happen as well. So, it's alright, I guess. Oh yeah, that's another thing. This card, with your commander, you find lands, I guess. I don't really care about that much. This could kind of just be explosive vegetations, but it's funny when it works. I don't feel obligated to play a ton of basics because of this card, but it does, when you're doing the thing, have the potential to vomit out all the basics. But again, if you're already comboing, you don't need more mana. If you're not comboing, and this is in play, and then your commander shows up, yeah, you're going to start to play a basic all the time. If this triggers 3 times, that's great. It doesn't have to trigger 25 times. There's no reason, in my opinion, to play more than like 10 basics. I don't even think I have 10. But yeah, so let's see what happens. Oh, it doesn't have... I already have a deck named this? Okay. There you go. Easy. Oh, wait. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I'm not really concerned about the basic thing, like, at all. Especially in a green deck. I'm not going to have mana issues if my opponent concedes because I played 5 basics. Alright, but no. I'm not really sold on that side of things. I'm more concerned about actually doing anything, which I haven't played the deck yet. We'll see. Maybe it ends up being phenomenal or something, but I would be a bit more impressed with the consistency of resolving 2 5-drops for a combo in the first place than I am about playing 5 basics. No green mana. Kind of tragic. Yeah, they're really tragic. Oh well. Okay, this works. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah. No combo card, but, you know, subject to change. Yeah, we're just playing the Zone Guard here, while it's effectively safe to do so. Could just get a Plains here. I don't have to... Well, it's Tatyova. I don't have to care about really anything that involves my life total, so... Just doesn't really matter. Looks like they're holding up, what is this, Endurance? Or that weird, Settle... Once Upon a Time? Subtlety, maybe? Yeah, it could be Subtlety. Oh, no, it's not. Yeah, if you have the Lotus Cobra in play already, you know, there you go. I do have Lotus Cobra in here. That would work. Oh, it's an Explorer Enjoyer. I actually took out Explorer. Look at that. Alright, I can play my commander. I guess. I can get hit by Wash Away and still play Magic, so maybe that's fine? Yeah, we can play Magic after we get hit by... Okay, with Wash Away specifically. It looks like we are actually getting hit by Wash Away. Excellent. Why wouldn't we be? Well, like I said, I'd be vastly more impressed with actually doing anything with this commander than I would be trying to get all my basics out. Well, that's a hand, I guess. Looks like I'm gonna get all my basics out anyways. well, there are some pretty good top decks in my deck. Opponent keeps the card. Excellent. Love to see it. I'm gonna just get a basic to... No, wait. I should do this and put a stop here. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Well... Not great. Not great. Okay, that was great. That actually was great. Okay. That was probably one of the better things I could have found it right then and there. And we can just pass. We know the top card because of Chocobo. Alright, that was solid. That maybe it's kind of just the best thing I could have asked for other than, like, top deck combo piece or something, I guess. The old cycle to time warp, sure. Sure. Well, I'm certainly not out of this. But I suppose it's not looking terrible. Okay. Looking good. Light and Giver Runes. I don't know if they wanted to crack that last fetch land there. Well, it probably doesn't really matter fundamentally. Probably just doesn't really matter. Do I want Conduit? It is a guaranteed land drop. Alright, we did it. Yeah, we actually did it. Through a wash away in infinite ramp spells. Nice. Did they cast a blue card? I don't think they did. No, they didn't. Oh, no, yeah, the wash away, right. After having just said it. Alright, so what did we find? We found Lotus Cobra. Yeah, we probably keep the Conduit, cast it, pull out a fetch land out of the graveyard for Traveling Spaghetti. Could flip the Lotus Cobra first as well if I chose. Each creature in my graveyard, so... Oh, I could also just flip this and sack, like, the 1/1 to get more Chocobo triggers. So, yeah, that worked out. Look at that. That worked out. Didn't need the combo. Who would have guessed? Certainly not me. Alright, combo versus combo. Opponent has a vastly cheaper one, though. Like, by a metric boatload. I've yet to have a crazy World Weave game. I have no interaction, but I don't know. I want to try to play World Weave. The past 2 times I've played against this, it just had the 2/2 in its hand. It didn't have to find it. Definitely not ideal. Not cash money. I think I cast Fanatic next turn. Holding it for my World Weave feels probably just not right. Yeah, I'm gonna say that's probably accurate, so. Wait, why didn't that trigger this? Oh, it's not when you... Never mind. The game life side is the other one. That's the combo one. So, 1, 2, 3. Kind of an awkward sequence, but it does get them in play, so... Swamp? Swamp. Sylvan Safekeeper... I mean, might as well cast it. I don't know why I wouldn't cast it. Alright, so now all I have to do is find it and I lose. I just displayed no interaction. But I did the funny thing, I guess. So do they get a Surveil land? That would be, I guess, good news, because that maybe implies they don't have it. They also would have just effectively wasted time getting a life, so... I guess they all signs point to they just don't have it in their hand. It's incredibly easy to acquire it, though. Like, super easy. I'm not going to bluff anything. I doubt they're going to even play around it, so... Looks like an X spell, and looks like we lose. That's my guess here. That is actually not at all what just happened. They're reanimating a land. Alright. We're actually... The game is being played. Look at that. So, cast our commander. Crack this now. I have a... Yeah, wait, I have this, so... Find Birds of Spaghetti, not great. Do I sack something? Does that matter? Well, we can play the land first, actually. Loot. Okay. Yep, we're gonna just play this. Okay, another interesting one. But, yeah, my opponent gets another opportunity to find it here. They didn't have it last turn, so, I mean, you know... Anything's possible, though. A lot of cards in their deck just find it, and I didn't find interaction, right? No. I have a good turn next turn, or just one that's sort of better than the one I just had. To some degree, I guess. Can I flip these at instant speed? That's how that works, right? Yeah. Alright, so they found it. Alright, cool. Top deck, I win, I guess. Excellent. Was I on the play? I was? Okay. I'll play the Tomb. Yeah, we'll play Ancient Tomb. That's fine. Yeah, we can play that one first. I mean, your deck does one thing. Play a land, cast ramp spell. I imagine that's the idea here. Apparently it isn't. Apparently they don't even have a land. Alright, that's interesting. But they're thinking about something, so I don't know what. Oh, they had Ancient Tomb. Okay, they're debating if Tatyova was the right idea for the turn, I guess. Fair enough. And I would probably argue it is. That's a good one to flip. Green. Alright, well, Felia not at its best right now. Opponent tapping the Ancient Tomb puts him to 10, but Tatyova's in play, so that doesn't really matter. So we can flip this. Actually, I shouldn't flip them now. Alright, yeah, they're just dead. If I get rid of their commander with Felia and swing all out, they block 5, they take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, 11, 12. They're not actually dead here. My opponent is not dead. If I make that unblockable, and they block 3, they take 1, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It's exactly lethal if I tap Skrelv to make 5 unblockable, flicker Tatyova out of the game. So I actually don't want to flip these because they lose power. If I draw a land, I guess it'd be fine because I'd find the damage again, but... Sweet! Alright, well, I've cyberbullied Tatyova today. That's kind of neat. But that's the price you pay for doing a... or having like a completely do-nothing, ignores-you kind of deck, like Tatyova. Just sit there and cast ramp spells and completely and utterly ignore your... Oh wait, we want Green Sun Zenith. We want Green Sun Zenith. I forgore. Unless it's already in here. It is not. Yeah, that's a combo piece. What's another... search... mana value? Finale for 7 does it? Search for a creature of the battlefield. Yeah, we should probably run that as well. This does it too, right? Yeah, we probably just want all of those kinds of things. Even Court of Calling does it. Shoot. Alright, there's a whole pile of cards I just kind of forgot existed, so let's try to make those fit. I feel like Primeval Titan is irrelevant. The game is kind of decided before we're at, like, Primeval Titan having meaningful interaction with my commander. Same with the Green Warden, to be honest. I don't know. It's not great, it's not terrible. That's the problem. I can probably find something else to get rid of then. I don't even like the threats around every corner. I just don't even like it. But it's a funny card, you don't normally get to play it. Etrata. Oh. What's Etrata? Oh, blue-black. Forgot I couldn't see everything. Again, it's literally just a worse explosive vegetation. Like I don't know why people are so hung up on this card. I really don't like it. But again, it's just a card I haven't and will probably never yet play again after today, so it'll stay. Springheart has been kind of lame. Yeah, it's been kind of lame. Yeah, it goes infinite. But again, why are we going infinite with lands? What do I... People, please. You don't need all your basics in play. You did the thing. You already have all your creatures in play. You don't need more lands. They enter tapped too. If you have Lotus Cobra or like Tireless Provisioner, or I guess even Nissa, you can then use all that mana immediately to do something, but Ashaya already kind of does that with all your creatures entering as lands. So face down. Yeah, I just like, you know, ugh. You don't need this card. I should just take it out to prove a point, but I won't. I might actually have to. How do I make room for this? I could just drop Skrelv Giver Mother. I don't really want to, though. I really don't want to do that. Not yet, at least. There's a lot of farewell situations that I don't like. There's a lot of weird farewell situations, but there's a lot of solid ones, too. Could just maybe go in the middle and just cast, like, Casualties of War instead, so I don't always hit myself with it. Not that I will, but... Oh, excuse me. Yeah, everything in here is fine. Everything in here is okay. Just makes it hard to find room. I don't really care about dealing 1 damage every time I play a land. Now, if I have this in play already, it does effectively win. So, maybe that's fine. The off chance that that happens. Settle the Wilds does find my only 5. So... Binding is kind of slow for what it does. I really like this card, though. I'm a huge fan of it. I actually thought it was a rare when I first played it. It took me like a year to realize it wasn't a rare. That's just how much I like it, I guess. Could run Overlord, too. It's just not in here. Overlord is a cheaper version of Wow, not really anything specific. Alright, Springheart on its own isn't great. Duplicating some things is rather scary, though. Like, yeah, there's a lot of very scary things that it's doing. I actually don't even like Fnatic. It was good when I played it, but that's not necessarily a consistent thing. I think I'm just going to do without Farewell. Because everything else is fine, and I don't even know, honestly, the more I think about it. Like, it doesn't play too well against a fair amount of the things you expect to play against currently. Like, the Val, it doesn't do anything against Val. It doesn't do anything against, like... I guess Tatyova doesn't do anything against Tatyova, really. Yeah, there's a lot of matchups where it's not great. There's like artifact based matchups where it's really good. But I could also just maybe sort of ignore my opponent's artifacts and just try to like actually win the game instead with cards instead. I could just drop Heroic Intervention. I did add all the Mother Giver stuff. And this format is not heavy with sweepers. It doesn't give your face hexproof, right? Yeah, so you can get Rivers Rebuked and Cyclonic Rifted anyways. Yeah, I don't think this is really a Heroic Intervention format. Teferi's Protection gives face protection, which I do like, but it costs 3, which makes it incredibly awkward. For the turn, we do stuff. We also don't necessarily need it anyways. Like, I don't actually have to defend the combo. I don't have to combo to win. What are we ephemerating? Primeval Titan? Face down creatures sometimes? I suppose that's good enough. White of the Reliquary. Sacking creatures. This is interesting. Yeah, you can sack... Yeah, okay, that can stay. Also, hello. Sylvan Safekeeper can still stay. Yeah. I don't really like this, but it's alright. I don't really like it, though. Huh. Alright, fit... Wait. How many we got? 1, 2, 3, sort of. This doesn't actually count. My commander does sort of count with it, but it's already 5 mana. I think I just don't like Fnatic. I know it has tapped for 4 already, but still. I don't have a lot of creatures that let it tap for a bunch until this is in play. And once this is in play, I don't really need more mana. So I'd rather have land-based rant spells anyways to actually trigger this. Like, if I top deck the Fnatic it doesn't trigger this, but if I top deck Farseek, it does, right? Speaking of Farseek, I probably want Farseek in here. Shoot. Into the North could be... Yeah, like the ramp spells are solid. Yeah, Assemble is good too. Okay, the more I think about it, the less I even want either 6-drop. It feels redundant once I've got this going. They're not bad cards, but I don't... We're playing Historic Roll. Playing Historic... Yeah, Assemble the Team and Plot are both fine. I don't think I'm replacing Grim Tutor with it, though. Pillage the Bog, we are this kind of deck for sure, so we could easily put those in. Alright, I feel like we're going to find the combo way more consistently now. And taking out the 6-drops, that probably won't come up too much. I'm going to remove Binding. 4-mana removal spell. Too slow for Historic Brawl. Changed my mind. Could make the same argument with Terra Sunder, at least as an instant. It can mess up people's moxes and stuff. It's alright. I wouldn't say I need it. I'm kind of more interested in not going down that route. We already have, like, Cut Down, Fatal Push, Get Lost. We have, like, the best of the best, right? I could put Baleful Mastery in that spot, as much as I don't really like that card. Oh, we're at 100. We're doing it. We're going. No more thinking. We're taking it and running. We somehow got to 100 cards. Don't ask me, I wasn't paying attention. I'm just along for the ride. Just along for the ride. Well, a good hand to defend ourselves, not a good hand against counterspells, though. I swear, the Verge lands never tap for the color I want on turn 1. It's always annoying. It's like, oh, I need a white card, and then I don't get the white Verge. There's only 10 of these, right? There's only 10 Verge lands? So we don't have, effectively, like, all 20 with the flipped, whatchamacallit? Like, there isn't a white one that taps for green later. Black, white, green. I could probably get Temple Guard in here. Yeah. Alright, Esper Sentinel. Do something. I care about this a little bit more than Giver in a mono-blue matchup. I played a tap land, just run that out. Could have left up Fatal Push, but I didn't. Speaking of Fatal Push, do we actually want Dark Ritual? I'd say there's merit in wanting that card. Kind of a sketchy... Kind of sketchy there. Okay, let's kill that, or do we cast, I'm gonna kill that. I don't like that. Oh shoot, I might have just lost the game. I forgot my opponent's playing Urza. Alright, might have lost the game there. That's my bad. I just gave him mana. Yeah, didn't think of that. I mean, maybe I can play still. No, that's probably not likely. Yeah, that was a very bad idea. That was definitely a bad idea. Alright. My bad. Shouldn't have done that. That was a mistake. I handed my opponent the win. Just completely handed it over. Just gave him the win there. Wasn't really thinking. That was like the worst possible removal spell to have. Of course we have it. Do I play Chocobo turn 2? Well, it's a mono black deck. There's no guarantee I have Eldritch Mystic. I think I should play Restoration to not, like, just have more things to do if this dies, which, oh, it currently looks like it will die. To Flare? Not Grief. Looks like it's Flare? Okay, it looks like it's nothing. This is an instant, right? Yeah, alright. Maybe I keep it a... No, okay. We've done what we've done. Oh wow, it was Grief. That's hilarious. So they would take that. I have to cast it. Let's get rid of you. Get a black and green. Black, green. They take the Chocobo here. Or, do they? I probably do. I would say. It looks like they have some kind of spell that would reanimate the Grief, which then I lose my whole hand and have to rely on this thing now. Alright, well they thought about it, so there's probably no cheat death. I don't know why they would take so long if it was a cheat death there. Alright, there is a cheat death. Oh wait, nope, it's not a cheat death. It's a sack it. Sack it to the old, what is that, village rights? Yeah. Oh, okay. I'm going to assume they just drew that. Well, I had fun. Play this, play this. Settle will find a Shia if I cast it before I play my land. Which I most certainly will. I wonder if they kill the Mystic or make mana here. The Mystic doesn't do anything. Oh, never mind, it doesn't even... I thought it was the treasure one. I'm just not using my noodle. Play that. We got Giver and Mother. That's hilarious. I'm not going to swing. Alright, I don't need my commander alive. I'm sure they will kill it. No. Oh, really? Okay. Huh. Sure. I mean, I'm taking that. Taking that all the way to the bank. This has 1 damage on it. I can flip it and it won't die. If it was Mother of Runes that didn't make it, this would kill it, but yeah, it only has 1 damage on it. So, cast our commander again. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yep. Hoping they just recast Sephiroth. Alright, it's effectively the same. Sure. Looking like we're gonna get there. Alright, we did it. Alright, we actually did it. Look at that. There is no stopping this. I can't decline or do anything. It has to happen. Alright, well, they didn't concede, so you just have a sweeper in your deck and in hand, like Damnation, in your Sephiroth deck. Alright, looks like they don't have it, so looking pretty good. We did it. My opponent also gets to see all of my creatures. Look at that. So we untap and we flip over Ice Till Explorer. That doesn't really do anything. Oh, we could flip over this one and then start to pay 2 for each of them instead of their mana cost. Flip over Felia as well to get a blocker out of the way. What if I just swung all out and didn't think about anything ever? They block 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, they're just like super dead anyways. Yeah, there's no reason to think about anything there. Well, we just beat double grief. That's kind of nuts. That was a grief reanimate. Oh, no one drop. Oh man, if this had a one drop. Oof. Ugh. I think I'm sacking the Sylvan Safekeeper turn 1. I don't expect that to do anything this game. And I should just play as fast as possible. Yeah, this... I think this is right. I think this is right. This feels like the best idea, so... Especially if this ends up dying, then I'd be like, oh no, I didn't use it. So let's get a white. I suppose another green is ideal as well. There's no reason to play Vine Lasher with a Shockland. Giver Runes is interesting. That's pretty interesting. Yeah, there's no reason to shock myself. At least I don't think there is. Whoa, what the... Okay. Can't copy that. I can start spam copying this thing. It is funny to do that. Yeah, it also gives me some stats. Let's go that route. That seems funny. We like funny stuff here. I know the offspring is essentially the same, but might as well go this route. This age is a colorless source. Giver gives protection from that. Do I play the other land? I don't think I play this land because of my commander. Yeah, I'm gonna hold the land. I can't play extra, like, Vine Lashers anyways. Alright, that blows up the Spring Heart, so I guess my line was ideal. You probably don't want to swing... Oh, wow. You have to tap the Giver, though. Yeah, now you have to tap the Giver. Kind of sketchy, but I guess it's fair enough. It does force me to find some kind of card. It's not like I suddenly kill it because Giver's tapped, but this was not free. Okay, let's play you. Skrill. That thing. Alright. I can swing with loot. Damage does matter, so... Damage does matter. Uh-oh, they scried a card on top. Uh-oh. An Annabelle player keeping a turn 5 play, not a great sign. Oh. Oh, okay, that's fine. Not too concerned about that, currently. Boreal Grazer, excellent. Grim Tutor. So if I keep this, I lose 3 life. Oh, I have to keep this. Oh no. That's why you surveil second. No, there's just nothing. Nope, that's just... Nope. It's not happening. But it's why you surveil second. Tragic. If I Grim Tutor for Ashaya, my commander's dead, so it doesn't actually, like... Okay, I just found Ashaya randomly. That works out. They're also taking real damage from this. This is fine. I'll keep the removal spell. Is that the second time this died this game? No, it's the first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I can recast it. They didn't give upfront protection. I don't know if that was maybe a mistake. Alright, they kill the one I didn't block with. That makes sense. I could have 4D chested and put that in front of their thing there or something like that. They also let me draw. Kind of surprised. I'm winning the damage race, so I don't actually have to play Bitter Blossom on their commander. I'm just simply winning the damage race. I also lost a Shia, so I find Reanimate or something. Let's put this on... you. Yeah, I don't care about this one. I can potentially get the counter. Okay, let's try again. Holy lands. Alright. Calm down. But yeah, we're actually just winning the damage race against this deck. That's hilarious. But they did keep a card on top last turn. I have no idea what it could be. It has to effectively just straight up kill me. Alright, that is not it. I'm going to assume that's what they kept on top. That is also not it. Alright, we did it. We actually just created too many problems. It's just... an army of tutus was too much for this commander. That's really funny. Huh. A green ramp-based deck creating a significant board presence. That doesn't happen too often. Well, at least in this way, right? Like, land drops. Yeah, okay, this effectively does have the text of the 5-mana create tutus. I didn't think about it like that at all. But yeah, I think there's 2 or 3 of them. The 5-mana enchantment, you play it, and every time you play a land, you make a 2/2. It's actually just baked into this commander. Kind of neat. An army of tutus. Who would have guessed? Who would have guessed? I feel like I'm playing Legacy. Got all these crazy creatures, and then the 3 tutus is too much for half the Legacy meta. Some random tutus like, oh no, the 1-for-1 lightning bolts is not enough. Your tutus are gonna get there. Like, what? In Legacy? What? Can't force the will of Tutu. Well, actually, I guess philosophically you can. Well, that doesn't have any cards in it. This has the thing I want to do, but it's not necessarily fast. This is irrelevant. I don't want to go to 5 or anything ridiculous, so... Another Tifa player playing Mana Dorks. Funny. Maybe they're just not all in on Tifa then? Though, I mean, Mana Dorks do let you play it on turn 2. So, are you just not casting it? Okay, they can still cast it. Well, that would have been phenomenal last turn. But, of course I draw it this turn, why wouldn't I? It could also just be dead, because Tifa's the dumbest card ever. It's also a thing that could happen. So he takes 16. Plays around Esper Sentinel as well, so I don't draw a card. 16 it is. You can't not swing, you have to swing. Oh, wait a minute. Did I have to block the Chocobo? No? Okay. Almost. So, what can I do now? Oh boy. Go to 3. And then go to 2. And then... What does Grazer do? Oh wait, I can't play Grazer. Okay, never mind. Dead to Giant Growth. Does that give trample? It does. Alright. I don't know why they're sitting there thinking about stuff. It's pretty straightforward. It's not hard. Opponent's sitting there thinking. I mean, I have 1 mana and 1 card. I guess I could have Fatal Push, to be fair. Alright, I did not in any way, shape, or form expect to play against Tamio. Kinda dumb. Kind of dumb. It's also on the play, because of course it is. Huh. Someone who didn't pretend like they had options. Look at that. I have to play the tap land, which is abysmal. Gemstone. Imagine I had that. Alright, we're going to leave up Haro. Love to see that. Let's get rid of this. Get black and green? Could get black and white. No, let's just get black and green. Oh, I meant to get black and green. Oh, whoops. Whoops! I meant to get black and green. I accidentally got green and white. Alright. Mistakes. Let's see if it matters. Alright, it looks like it didn't actually matter. We can play... Untap land... Yeah, we don't need this loot, so just send it to the counter gods here. Sack it to the counter gods. Okay. Surprised they countered that one. Maybe that one isn't that bad to see for the opponent. They Noxious Revival a land. Okay. They just flash out a Sea Dasher Octopus. Okay. I guess I'm blocking it. Interesting. How do you not cast it? What? You don't swing with it? What's going on? I'm so confused. I'm so confused. Okay, they let that go. Interesting. That just snap resolved. Alright, looks like they have Tail's End. Because it didn't hold priority from the Provisioner. Another land is actually fine with Court of Calling and my commander. Although they have Tail's End, so that's not 100% true. I'm not going to take the trade. Yeah, I'm never trading Tireless Provisioner, so... Guess I'll just look like this. And if they have to leave up Tail's End, I can cast it, my commander, twice. It's definitely a Tail's End here. Oh, I mean, to be fair, it could be Stifle. But it's, I mean, let's be real, it's Tail's End. It's not rocket science here. I can chord for not anything important. Yeah, we can cast this twice. If they get mana drain, I guess the game does end. But I survive all other counterspells. Okay, it was a Tail Zone. What about that? Put that back there. Let's play this. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 for this. What is that doing? I feel like nothing that I care about currently. So I'm not gonna make a move. There's nothing Cord does. Like, Ashaya is just not what I want. Wait, could I even do Ashaya? Hold on. No, I couldn't do that. Okay. I don't think Farseek has text on it. I think I'm surprised at what just happened. Can cast it again. Looks like there's another counter spell. Could be a Brazen Borrower. I kind of doubt that, though. 2/2 Flying Vigilance enters, draw 2. Then discard 2 unless you discard an instant or sorcery. Okay. Very random. But it's got text on it. Opponent gets rid of Warzone, Duplicator, and Narset. Kind of a crazy bunch of cards there, not gonna lie. Can cast my commander yet again. I think I do. That's what we came here to do, yeah. I mean, we can just keep casting it. I can actually cast it next turn again as well, if I really wanted to. So you just keep going for it. I don't even have lands to play with it. It's funny, my opponent keeps trying to counter it. I don't have any lands. I don't have any lands. Can't attack. Alright, so it's in play. It's chilling. But so is my opponent's. Probably worthwhile trade-off, though. Still plenty of things that are a problem. One of those things being I don't actually have a land to go with my commander. And my opponent knows that because I didn't play a land. So, as far as my opponent's concerned, it doesn't actually do anything currently. Okay, let's make a move on their commander, shall we? That just worked. Sure. This has prowess, right? No, it doesn't. Let's swing for 5. Cast my random 3/3. And then leave up Felia. Yeah, I've displayed an inability to use my commander. So it looks as non-threatening as I essentially could ask for here. Opponent actually agrees. One, two, three. Yeah, not quite. It's got vigilance, you might as well. Yep, there you go. Felia just resolved. Interesting. Found a land. Topiary Stomper. Interesting. Not the strongest, but again, we have an instant speed combo with our Court of Calling effectively. Hullbreaker Horror. So win the game? I don't think they can do anything. Crazy game. Against a Tameo player, too. Wow. They can cast 7 spells at maximum, let's say, which is not going to happen. Yeah, they can't bounce anywhere near enough things with the Hullbreaker Horror. They just can't do it. It's too many. So it's like River's Rebuke, Cyclonic Rift, or you lose. That is quite literally it. Flipping any of these doesn't matter before that would resolve and or block. So they can go at it. Right, just making sure. Yeah, that doesn't effectively do anything. Alright, do you have... There's no reason to cast this. There's no reason to cast that. There's just no reason. River's Rebuke, Cyclonic Rift. Or you lose. Playing my land first. So I can flip what even matters. That one just dealing damage. Give her Ice Till Explorer. What does Ice Till Explorer do? Alright. Well, I'm going to assume my opponent has Cyclonic Rift, so it probably doesn't even matter what I do pre-combat. I don't even know why I'm really thinking about it. Let's get rid of... Map token? Oh look, it's the only card that could keep them in the game, no way. Crazy, huh? Oh, they're lands! They're lands. They're lands. It doesn't work! It doesn't work. I mean, I didn't know either. I didn't know either. Like, why? It's not intuitive. You know, it says non-land on it. They're all lands. Like, I didn't know that. I thought it was gonna work too. Like, that's hilarious. All right. I mean, they had the only card possible that could do anything, and well, come to find out, there are no cards that could do anything in that spot. They'd have to play Cyclonic River's Rebuke instead. Oh, that is... Wait a minute, hold on. Does River's Rebuke do it? Oh no. It doesn't do it either! It doesn't do it either! This gets around both! It's non-land. Oh. I didn't even know that. So both of the blue cards don't do it. Oh, man. Oh, we're eating good. Well, those some good eats. Oh, man. Brought to you by Beasley. Look at that. Look what happens when you read cards. Oh. Aetherize? Alright, that's a timeout. Oh, that's so good. That's so good. We did it. We solved everything. This is fine. This is just the Tatyova deck, except it has a worse commander. But it's the same deck. Let's play you. We should probably hold the fetch land, actually. I'm not remotely interested in playing around Meta Drain, as that card is profoundly stupid. Alright, I didn't have it. Would have effectively lost the game if they did, though. On the spot. Yeah, I would have lost the game. They just play their commander and I would lose. So, not ideal to have as a thing that could happen. Alright, they thought long and hard about their play for the turn. I guess I don't swing. Whatever's castable is castable without going into combat, so we'll just play the Tireless Provisioner here. This is actually a good card on top. I will keep that. Alright, they could have found Meta Drain because they Planar Genesis for a not land. So it could be a Meta Drain off the top. That would be effectively better than a land. Yep, that's what happened. Because otherwise they would just grab a land, and they didn't. So, of course, the next best thing possible is what my opponent found. As is tradition. Well, I'd love to see what this deck does normally, but I guess we're not allowed to. Okay, they just didn't use their mana. Strange. I don't know if another Lotus Cobra does anything, but I guess I'll make it. Cast you. Godless Shrine. Because it doesn't matter, I will just make another one. Yeah. Doesn't matter. We'll just do stuff next turn. Doesn't matter if it's this turn or next turn, so might as well save myself the clicks when my opponent inevitably plays Ulamog and nothing I did mattered, because double Mana Drain. Well, that's not Ulamog. Doesn't find a land. Doesn't do anything. Alright, I can recast my commander a bajillion times. So I'll start by casting my commander the first time. Lotus Cobra. And win the game? Or at least try to win the game? They didn't stop the Ice Till Explorer, so they might not have a counterspell. Alright, there is a counterspell. Fair enough. And there's not anything else to do, so I'll just swing. Opponent still takes 2 damage off the Ancient Tomb, so they've committed to this being either the last turn or... yeah, that's about it, so I don't know. Could have left this up as an instant, but if they have some, like anything that's a major issue, it wouldn't really change anything. Well, if they cast Memory, I'm feeling pretty good about our situation. Offer You Can't Refuse also makes me think there's a wall of counterspells, which means there's a lot of dead cards at this point that just don't do anything. I'm going to assume they're really contemplating this Memory. I mean, if the 3 cards in your hand don't do it, then you're just going to have to cast it. Ulamog is not good enough. Mass Manipulation, is that good enough? No lands in the graveyard for the Ice Till Explorer. Should probably kill one of them anyways. Actually, there's no reason to make a move. I don't have to do that right now. I can just go to my turn and see what I draw. Okay, so pay 3 life, kill the commander. Cast it. Oh, they're dead. Okay, they're dead. They're dead. Nice. Yeah, the Ancient Tomb also can't really be tapped anymore. Anyways, Mass Manipulation. Huh. It saved them... Let's see, if they had another blocker in block 2, they'd go to 1 life. It would save them. But they wouldn't be completely out of it. They'd still have more play or something. But yeah, you can just... It's like... Okay, it wasn't actually quite like Tatyova. I said it was. But, yeah, it wasn't like Tatyova. But yeah, I was... Without Mana Drain, my opponent's playing a completely different game. Like, everything in this game is different. All the choices, all the options. This is the best card that was played, and it was played twice this game. So, kind of crazy to beat this card the first time. It's absolutely nuts to beat it the second time, when both times are relevant, mana-wise. Not every time it's cast does the mana matter, but I'd say both times they cast it, it did crazy card to beat there. But yeah, well, I wonder what it does without the best card in the game. Wonder what it looks like. Yeah, you control the Spring Heart still. Same with equipment and stuff. I think I want Dark Ritual. I said I wanted it a while ago and I didn't add it. Dark Ritual does give us the ability to burst out X spells that could find a Shaya. So it's hard to not play it. Same with black market connections being like another mana producing threat. Scute Swarm hasn't mattered in a single game. I'm gonna not run Scute Swarm for now. It's a lot of situations I just don't like it. I know it can win on its own, but most games it doesn't do that. It used to. It doesn't quite do that anymore. Springheart Nintaku was another card I'm not super sold on. Can you enchant your opponent's creatures with Springheart? I can't remember. I think you can. I think you can. Alright, mono blue. The old go-go. Goo-goo. Oh, is it Mana Drain game number 2? Back to back? Oh, wow. Bounce spell, Brazen Bar? Sure. What'd they get rid of? As long as this artifact on the battlefield is activated, all lands and graveyards. Okay. Mm-hmm. Opponent specifically leaves up 1 blue to do that. Alright, maybe they just want to cast their commander, sure. No. Why? What? Okay, well, I'll just play this. And then play this? I don't think I think I'm cycling the land? Swing? Does it flash? No, it doesn't. This doesn't do anything, so yeah, we're just leaving up this cycle land. I'm kind of tired of running into mana drains, so I'm not going to play into mana drain again. They take Ancient Tomb damage. Interesting. Alright, it could also be Stifle, or Tail's End or something. Mana Drain is just really the thing I'm keen on avoiding. At this point it doesn't matter. Oh, I was hoping I'd draw a fetch land. Yeah, okay, at this point it doesn't matter, so we just send it. Go, Goo-Goo's in play. Oh look, it's Mana Drain, wow. Crazy, huh? Absolutely mind-boggling. Truly the most enjoyable thing ever. Well, I'd love to see what this commander does without the best card in the game. But, silly me. Not allowed to. Don't know why they tapped the Chrome Mox. There's no reason to do that. Oh, they're just copying it. Right. Look at that. Mana Drain literally gave my opponent an Ancestral Recall. Wow. Truly the most amazing card. The most amazing card. Mana Drain, Ancestral Recall. Super fun. Alright, counter my card so I can move on. Oh, it can't target itself. Alright. Cast my cards in the wrong order, so now I don't have my commander. Yep, nice mana drain. Full of talent. I should have just cast my commander a turn earlier and concede it to mana drain and not wasted my time. It would be great if I had a single game with Cavernous Souls in it. I just haven't drawn that card yet. And there has been a massive, colossal wall of blue players today. Tatyovas and whatever else, the Tamios and stuff. Just blue, 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 blue. But to be fair, that's above average. It's mostly just a green format anyways. Esper Sentinel doesn't really do anything in this matchup. Okay, that also doesn't really work. This kind of works? What's bad here? You're not great. Oh, wait, wait. This is just actually awful. Alright, there we go. Once Upon a Spaghetti. Another card I yet to cast. Really gotta get my stuff together and cast this stupid card once. Yep. Oh, great. Could have just recast it. It was interesting. Let's see. Kill that? No, I can't afford to. So let's just play this. I just can't afford to take time off to hope my opponent doesn't find a land on the top of their deck, and they didn't find one. Play my commander? If they find a land, I lose the game, though? It's definitely not a good idea, huh? Probably not. Yeah, let's not just lose the game off the top. They did find a land, so I would have lost the game on the spot. Find 3 lands in a row. I don't find a land. Game's over. Fun. Mono green. I would have lost though if I didn't go the route I took. I probably just had to ignore that though. Just like the mana drains, I should have just played into my opponent's immediate win the game with a land. And if it doesn't work, just play the next game. But to be fair, even if they didn't hit a land, I actually wasn't going to do anything on my turn. So I just didn't have anything happening for me there. It's not in the cards. So, Dark Ritual. 1, 2, 3, green. Okay. Every Tifa player today has had the 1-drop. Interesting. Not all Tifa players play them. Green, white, yep. So I can play this, and now we just have to, like, green suns for 5. Which doesn't actually save me against Tifa. But surely my opponent doesn't just have it, right? Okay. I'm gonna play this. And even if I have a bunch of 2/2s, I don't immediately, like, win the game or anything. Swinging was irrelevant. I might as well have not have swung there. It just doesn't accomplish anything. Yeah, that was just pointless. Shouldn't have attacked. Fetch land. Oh, wow, no fetch land. Crazy. So I take it that means you're not swinging at me this turn. Trading with the combat trick is probably not a good idea. Opponent agrees. So we can do the thing, but again, Tifa can still just kill me. Green... Yep, doesn't actually matter. They can still, like, scape shift kill me and stuff, so... But, I don't know. I can put about 60 points of power into play or something like that. Can I choose how the triggers operate? Gameplay... Okay, so I want to manually put these on the stack like that. Alright, they're over it. Because I can float, what I can do here is flip the Vine Lasher, because I got it super early in the random assortment, and I think I have enough creatures to kill them from here. I just had to float the mana first. And then this would do 1 damage each time we do our loop. And I'm pretty sure we have enough creatures left. How many are in play? Let's count it. 2, 3. Okay. Let's go see if that was lethal. Because we got that card so early. I did miss a trigger too. I made a mistake. I didn't stop myself in time. 29, 10. I'm pretty sure it was 1 off, or 2 off lethal. I think it was 1 or 2 off lethal, which meant missing those initial triggers was actually a mistake. I would have not killed my opponent for 20 damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What was it? 4, 5, 6... Okay, I think it was still lethal. I think it was still lethal. What else? What could I have done with all of that floating mana? Okay, I could flip... Okay, so I could flip Ice Till Explorer. With the Shrieker, I could flip a bunch of things for just 2 mana. If I wanted to. None of it has haste. Could flip Mythweaver Pock, have an insane amount of stats in play, make it even harder for Tifa to take its turn and then kill me. That would end up being quite a boatload of stats there between Ashaya and Pock. I think that's it. We could flip Mossborn Hydra when we find that one, right? Yeah, that would do it. Technically, Bristly Bill would be some 1/1 counters. I can't say I care too much about that, though. I mean, there is a universe where Tifa swings for over 6,000, so that could have still been lights out, but they didn't stick with it, so either they didn't have any top deck or just didn't want to watch me slowly go through all that stupid stuff. And I don't really blame them. I don't blame them. It's not like it's a ranked format. You don't have to make me do it. Alright, we'll play a couple more. A couple more. I've seen what this deck can do, so my assessment of what it does is in order. Mentally. Still could make room for stuff like Final Parting Reanimate, Gristlebrand, Shieldred, Tooth and Nail. Could still do that. There's nothing wrong with more win conditions. Oh, it's Jadzi. Nice. Last time I played against this, my opponent played all the way to decking. I think that was the only time I've ever had someone deck out against me was Jadzi. They, like, literally played every single card in their deck and ran out of cards and lost. It was, like, the longest game. It was 40 minutes or something. It was absolutely bananas. Alright, so we have Elephant? Naming Elephant's funny, but I don't think there's any warriors in my deck, so I guess I just will name Elephant. Elefante. Let's get black and white. Send the old 0. Girth Spiral doesn't leave up a counterspell. At least represent one. Interesting. I know my turn is pretty obvious, but you should maybe leave... Oh, well, if they play, like, untapped Green Source, they could find Birds of Paradise or something. So, yeah, that makes sense. It makes sense. Alright, Mana Rock, but only for creatures. Very interesting. Not at all what I expected to have happen there. I'm going to lead with this. Yeah, we're going to lead with this. We don't hit the sauce, so I should take Haro. We'll just run... Oh, I can't now. Oh, I'll play land first. Kind of awkward. Yeah, we'll play this without Offspring. Just cast as a 1-drop. Leave myself options here. Surveil, then draw. Is this when I make my move with Haro? I think so. Get rid of you. Double green. Do I need another white source? No, not for most cards. Though I guess I also don't need another black source. So. Or green. Well, we have this card in our hand, so... I don't know. That's what we did. Alright, we have stuff in play. We got... Mossborn Hydra is currently online. Well... Sort of. I can win over 2 turns by tutoring up the Ashaya. Okay. Wow. Yep. Nope, I don't want to flip that. It's... I don't want to flip that. You... So if I cast this, I'm one off Ashaya, because my land was tapped. That's so bad. Oh no! Oh no! I forgot I could trick this into combat. Oh. Wait, it would have been 2 more. Okay, it was still 1 off. No, it was still 2 off. All right. It was 2 off. We didn't just throw the game. Sure. This probably would win if I didn't have an answer for it immediately, because that's usually what happens when people play that card. So let's see if I survive killing it like that. I mean, they can play all the tap lands they want. There's a bug in the back of my wall. Gotcha. Stupid little mosquito. Oh, wait, what? I sat back down, looked at the monitor, and my opponent didn't chain endless lands. Huh? Alright, well, most of the cards my opponent played, you don't normally see, so kind of curious what was going on there. This actually is one of those cards, too. Interesting. I like this commander. I don't think I've ever seen 2 people play the same pile. Cool. Yeah, I was busy slaying an insect on my wall. Alright, I've had my fill. We're full. They got 3 lands. Alright, fair enough. Yeah, but as long as they're all tapped, there's nothing they can do anyways, right? In fact, I don't even think I had to kill the Cultivator Colossus, right? I don't think I did, because all the lands that enter with it are tapped. Yeah. Okay, so there was really no reason to kill it. I don't think there's any card in the game other than the Mox. So if they had Mox, no, only one of them would work. Like, you get 1 mana. Yeah, I don't think anything they could do. Alright. Okay. So, this, at first, I was kind of skeptical about. Just trying to enable the combo felt like not terribly reliable. This is a 5-minute card that requires another 5-minute card to show up out of your deck that you don't have every game. If you really want to just go all in on the combo kind of thing, you could just play Val, right? Where are you? Where are you, Val? Oh, mine's all the way at the bottom. I think I uploaded a list with cards I don't own. Yeah, Recruiter, I don't own this. So you could just play Val and have effectively the same kind of idea going on. It seems like, while it is way easier to get this card than it is Ashaya, the downside, I guess, is you have to trigger this to start the loop, but it's really easy to do that. Like, it's almost so easy, I hardly consider it as something that I even really think about. I was actually playing a really light amount of ways to start the loop, and it felt fine. I see a ton of people play really bad cards, so they always have it, but I just never struggled. But anyways, back to what we were actually playing. So you could probably go that route instead with a combo deck that, you know, your creature and another creature out of your deck. This is more than twice as expensive as... Oh, wait, no. Val costs 3 or 2? Who cares? It's more expensive than Val, and this is more expensive than the green-white thing. So it doesn't need another card. All it needs is these 2. You don't have to, like, trigger this with a life gain or anything. You have green. You're right. You're just doing the best thing in the format, shy of, I guess, Mana Drain and Dark Ritual. Oh, wait, you have Dark Ritual. Never mind, I lied. I actually didn't start the deck with this. I forgot to put it in. I also wasn't playing all the X spells like Green Sun, Cord, and whatnot to start. I kind of forgot about these. This is actually a green card, so that does make sense. I also forgot to talk about Settle the Wilds, because this is my only 5-minute card, As long as my Set of the Wilds puts the 5th land in play, we'll always grab this. I kind of like that idea. Anything that cost more than the combo just felt like it was kind of dirtling its value in causing landfall triggers with like Green Warden and Primeval Titan. They kind of do stuff without your commander in play, so that is nice. But I'm not really sold that, like, if you get swept, or let's say everything's being killed or something like that, casting Primeval Titan doesn't just suddenly put you in a winning position, right? Usually a 6-mana card is a bit more, or you want it to be rather more swingy, right? If you play Primeval Titan, it doesn't look too great if your opponent just plays River's Rebuke, or Cyclonic Rift or something, or just Farewell, I guess. And you got some lands, but I don't know. It didn't really feel necessary to play cards that are good, quote-unquote, value vomit when your commander's in play, and then, like, slightly less value, but still kind of value vomit when your commander's not in play. Those cards, again, beyond 5 mana I'm talking about, they just didn't really feel like the right idea. I don't even know if Primeval Titan is the right idea anymore in this format. Some people will always swear by it, right? But you have to consider your opponents don't really care about 6-drops, right? As the format gets older, the more expensive a card is, the less likely it is to survive anything ever. If your opponent is on the play with Tamiyo, your Ancient Green Warden looks really funny in your hand. That won't do anything, right? A lot of games are decided vastly before, way before you get to that mana count. Even in green, it's like, I don't know, it's just something, you could probably just play more efficient, cheap cards that are relevant more games, because they're castable in more games when they're more relevant, right? Your turn 2 play is a lot more impactful than your turn 6 play. Just way more impactful of your turn 2 being something important. So just play more 2-drops, one would say. Assemble the team and Pillars the Bog is what I ended up putting in. I never actually tapped this card. I don't think I even put it in play. Well, other than as a 2/2 that has no text on it. This is kind of neat by sacrificing random stuff with your commander. Like, you just playing this and playing a land every turn, and like, oh, I don't want that. Sack it to essentially do it again. You get a land, and then boom, it triggers again. So that's kind of neat. This can actually find Ashaya, right? It can only hit creatures. There are, a lot of hits. It's not going to consistently do that, but sometimes it does. Sometimes it does. Somebody actually, I think it was the red deck or something, I blocked with the other 2/2s and not with this one. And my opponent killed this one with a removal spell because it was the only one I didn't block with, which, something to consider is, sometimes it makes sense to actually block with the one you don't want to die in some kind of combat to make it more random for your opponent. Because if you don't block with it, they're like, oh, well, any removal spell is going to go to the one you didn't block with, because I'm going to assume that's the most valuable one. And my opponent just thought like that, incorrectly killed this as the face-down target, so they actually paid attention. Just something to consider there. It's not going to come up very often, but sometimes it does. And it doesn't even actually have to be this card, it could just be something else. Another benefit of playing, let's say, or just a benefit of playing expensive cards like Primeval Titan, is you can get them off of this, so this thing has scarier hits when you're not comboing, right? If you just find Primeval Titan and then play a land next turn, you just have Primeval Titan as a face-down thing that actually flips and can swing us a 12/12, right? Yeah, or just make a 6/6, I guess, right? So you could do that, but I don't know. I think the options I had were good enough, and it's still highly random. It's not like you're always going to do that. I never really felt too bad about the army of random 2/2s I got. A lot of those things were fine to flip if I wasn't comboing. Like, finding Mother of Runes was okay. I could just flip it, and then, haha, I have Mother of Runes. I can actually not flip it for a while, and my opponent goes to cast a removal spell, and then boom, I flip it at instant speed, and then, bam, 1-2 punch, counter the removal spell. So that would be kind of neat. I don't think that ever came up, though, unfortunately. Neither did Flare. I ended up taking out Heroic Intervention. It felt like that just doesn't actually fit in with going for the combo. So yeah, if you do go for the combo, I would say manually stacking your triggers is kind of a good idea. I'm actually going to turn that back on. But like changing that so your Lotus Cobra Nissa stuff, the mana you generate, you might want to put that on top of the trigger, so then you could flip something later with the floating mana and then keep the chain going. Like if your let's say 10th card was Mossborn Hydra and you have Nissa, you want to flip this as soon as possible, so when the chain keeps going, this is just massive when it's over. It'll be like a 50 bajillion or something like that. If it's the last card in the Seek loop, then I guess it doesn't matter. So it's kind of a headache to pay attention to every single thing that flips one at a time, and is probably just something to do for the sake of your opponent conceding, because now you're taking this combo and making it take 4 times as long. Even if they have a sweeper, they're like, I'm just not going to wait this out. You're taking forever. I don't blame people. It could take quite a while if that's the case. Sometimes that's not. Like, the vast majority of the time, I would say you're probably not netting mana with each loop of this, because you need just a specific handful of cards that care about that. But if you have splashed lands that haven't tapped or something, and it's just 2 mana untapped, whenever you hit Lotus Cobra, you would want to flip it instantly and then just start to let it rip or whatever. But something to consider. This card is in here because of the combo, right? You just get basics every time when you're doing the loop, but it never came up. I don't think this is any good. I don't recommend this. You could just play Explosive Vegetations or something probably better than Explosive Vegetations, like, I don't know, Corlican Oracle of Moldiah, something like that, or I don't know. This is never really relevant to me. Even if I had like Bristly Bill or even, I guess, Tifa, I just don't care about this. This could be Omen Path's Journey, honestly. So I just have a land to play over the course of... It like spreads out lands for this. And that could just be better. I don't at all care about this card. I just don't care about it. So I'm definitely going to take that out. Yeah, we dodge River's Rebuke, we dodge Cyclonic Rift, because it says non-lands on them. I didn't realize that, but someone tried to mass bounce me, and they're all lands because of this. So you actually dodge the 2 big outs that blue decks have, which is really nice. Really, really nice. Still don't dodge. Still are not dodging... Oh yeah, Bloomvine Reagent. Whoops. Could be in there. Actually, that could just be better than Omen Path Journey, because it costs 3. Never go wrong with more Cultivate. Oh, it costs 5, though. So you lose your Settle the Wilds out. Ooh. Okay, maybe not. Maybe not. But, yeah, so I do like this. This is actually kind of a cool thing. It has the old... One of my... favorite landfall effects. It just has it tacked on there in a weird way, which is this thing, Zundakar's Royal. There's a white one that costs 4 as well. Felidar Spaghetti. Yeah, this one. So it's kind of like this, which is pretty neat. I've always liked these cards. They're way too slow for the format now, but when they're tacked on to something that threatens a combo and can also consistently find non-token creatures, it's not like the 2/2 is just a 2/2. It actually has the chance to flip and do something incredibly significant, like win the game. It's kind of neat. It's like a cool way to put this text box back in the game that is actually playable. I just really like these cards. Sad to... This one you could probably play in some decks. I don't have a really big issue with this one, but these are like, green doesn't want this anymore. It hasn't wanted these in a while. But yeah, if you're up against... This is a... as close to mono green, I guess, as you can ask for. A green deck that has a way to not die to hyper aggression because you can make a wall of 2/2s. So that's kind of nice. A lot of mana drains today. I'll say that. A lot of mana drains today. Not too great there. I still am steadfast and don't recommend playing can't be countered cards for the sake of can't be countered, because those cards themselves, while they can auto win against blue things in other matchups, they're absolutely terrible. If you don't want Mother Giver Skrelv, you could probably play the can't be countered things. You could probably play them, like Allosaurus Shepherd. I think there's a new one. It's like a 2/2. There's a bunch at this point, but yeah, the Garruk's Companion, except on steroids. Poor Garruk's Companion. So you could play the new Garruk's Companion and other stuff like that. This thing, just the can't be countered stuff, if you really wanted to. Today, if I had these instead of Mother of Runes, I would have probably won a handful more games, because this would have just been better than the Giver of Runes or whatever, assuming that's what I drew for it in that exact slot or whatever. But I don't know. I don't like those cards. That hasn't changed. Cavernous Souls is my only exception, really, to that for the most part. But, you know, something to think about. If that's... I see them all the time. People play the can't be countered cards, so they must be worthwhile. If you play that turn one, your opponent looks at it and like, well, I'm Urza, so I'm just going to concede. Half my cards don't work. It's like, all right, there you go. But I don't know. Not something I particularly interested in doing. It also doesn't lead to appealing content in like what a deck can do when you play Allosaurus Shepherd turn one and your opponent concedes. If that happens 3 games in a row, I don't really get a gauge of what this deck can do other than the typical green thing, and that doesn't lead to interesting content for YouTube, at least, and I don't know how fun that is to watch. Oop, click that away. But all in all, cool strategy. I like what it does. Very interesting. It does not have to combo to win the game. Meta is huge. That's quite significant, I would say. That actually changes it from my comparison to Val. I actually didn't consider that. Val can really struggle to win without the combo. This can win without a Shaya. Really, really nice there. So let me know what you thought about it. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.